welcome in, welcome in. Welcome into K Scott. Welcome in. K Scott says first, and I almost redeemed fart thinking it was first. That's okay. Understandable. Completely understandable. I need to update the sound list, actually. I've been kind of slacking on that. And welcome into Grizz as well. Well, isn't this a surprise? It actually is, because I have the potential to lag out. So if at any point tonight I suddenly disappear, the stream hasn't reached its usual end time, I suddenly disappear, you can't find me, yeah, my stream lagged out. So there's been a little bit of a confusion surrounding what exactly it is that is causing all these issues. Here I am. Hello, everyone. So there is a little bit of confusion about what's causing the issues. Grizz loves the music. You want the music? Or do you want Rogue Trader music? But yeah, I'm not really sure what's causing the connection issues just yet. My initial thought is that it's likely the internet provider. However, I think that's part of it, but I don't think that's the whole story. So this past Monday, I was attempting to stream on Monday, but when I turned my computer on, my computer wouldn't really recognize that there was an Ethernet cable at all. It would flash that there's an Ethernet cable's connected, but only for like a split second, and then it would go back to saying that it's not connected. Later on that day, I tried to stream, but I was using Wi-Fi instead. That was a disaster because my Wi-Fi reception is really bad. So eventually throughout the night, I replaced the cable. It was working really well. I replaced the Ethernet cable and it was working really well for a little while. But it ultimately didn't really fix the problem. It went back to like no Ethernet connection. So I thought maybe it's just the internet provider's problem. Eventually I got frustrated enough that I started like checking the wire, and I repositioned the Ethernet cable. It's connected to my wall. I repositioned the way it's connected to the wall, and then my connection issues were fixed. So my hunch is that at least part of my connection issues are a result of the wall port needing to be redone. I'm not really sure when that's gonna happen. Probably sometime this weekend. But that wall port's gonna need to be replaced, I think. Beyond that, I think that at the very least, to say the issues from Monday were a result of the wall port, I repositioned it a little bit, so it seems to be working well so far. But if there's any further issues after the wall port's replaced, it might be an internet provider problem. So, but we'll find out. I'm not really sure yet, but for today, we're just gonna play games, have a good time. I've been having a bit of a long day these past few days. There's been a lot of stuff for me to take care of at work. Now, the good news about that is that I've gotten started talking a lot earlier in the day, so usually it takes me a little while to warm up for talking, so I'm already kind of warmed up. The bad news is that because I'm actually using my brain at work, I don't have a whole lot of brain for stream, so I'm gonna do my best to see what I can do for stream. Why are there two of these? Like the same thing. Oh. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do for stream. I'll do my best. But my brain is a little bit fried. I'm hoping that I wake up a little bit. But, yeah. Anyway, that's the story. Tonight's going to be a bit of reading. allow me to read you a bedtime story. Yeah. Might generally be pretty... I was gonna say short stream, but I don't know if it will be. I wanted to play this... Oh.
The first sacrifice opens the second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there is any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives for the rogue trader.
Ethelthrad, who is clutching a bleeding wound on his chest, gives you a tormented look. I think... I gotta refamiliarize myself with where we're at in the story, but to catch you guys up, the gist of where we're at, to sum up Monday stream, we are a guy that's vaguely related to the rogue trader. So the rogue trader is... I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she is someone with a lot of authority and influence in the universe, the galaxy, and she is looking for a successor. Since we're of her bloodline, although distantly related, we are eligible to be her successor, so she's brought us aboard the ship. In the meantime, there has been a revolt staged by the forces of chaos, I believe, who are there's a guy who's attempting to take the document of the rogue trader so that he can have that power of authority. So he captured us in an attempt to use our blood to open the door. Now, thankfully, we managed to fend him off. He ran away. But now we're still dealing with a uprising aboard the ship in an attempt. A lot of humans have been corrupted in such a way that they're now trying to overthrow a lot of the people on the ship. So that's pretty much where we're at. We're fighting on the side of the people. Alright, and Ethelthrad is one of the successors. One of the people that were in line to take over. Okay, and one of the decisions I made was to lead our people out of the fiery trap on the officer's deck. However, we appear to be too late to rendezvous with Ethelthrad. Okay, let's see. Oh yes, Theodora von Valancius is dead. I almost forgot. So, the rogue trader... forgot about this part. The rogue trader is Theodora von Valancius. She's dead. I forgot about that part. So, Ethelthrad is the only other successor I'm aware of, so it's pretty much just us at this point that I'm aware of for successors for the rogue trader. Let's see. Theodora von Valancius is dead. I found her and the Ark militant in her study.
God Emperor, preserve us. The rogue traitor is dead. The ship has lost her Lord Captain, and the house its head.
Ethelthrad's eyes widen.
No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second. The warp is ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the Warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed.
Ethelthrad shudders and grabs his shoulder. As you watch, the sleeve of his jacket bursts open, and two bone growths pierce through the fabric.
I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating.
Idira looks anxiously at Ethelthrad. Then, she glances back at you. Let's see. The ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communication between the bridge and the navigator's sanctum.
Then we have no right to bow our heads.
Ethelthrad stares at you, and his eyes harden with cold resolve once more. You can see Conrad Voigtavir clearly in the gloom of the bridge. The broken blade he is holding is stained with dark drops that seem to have a pearlescent glimmer to them.
We are out of time.
Ethelthrad bites his knuckle, desperately thinking. You see a wave ripple across the whites of Ethelthrad's eyes, and they begin to turn a sickly yellow. The rogue trader's death will be avenged.
What? Theodora is dead? No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't.
Voigtavir stares at you in seemingly genuine bewilderment.
The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm. And farewell.
Ethelthrad lowers his head. Then he sighs and locks eyes with you, his gaze cold, haughty, and fanatical.
Ethelthrad, don't! Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
What? Well, a little too late for that. Well, I don't know how that would have looked if he... I don't know how that would have looked if he didn't run in there, but, well, I guess we'll never know. Alright, let's get ready for a battle with the Chaos Spawn. Move Argenta... Oh, Argenta? We'll move here. I believe Argenta's ranged. Adira is... also ranged? Abelard can go... Oh, whoops. Wrong button. Actually, Argenta should be here. Well, no, Argenta can be here. Abelard... Ah, damn it. Okay, well, I wanted Abelard there, but I don't think that's going to work. Lots of decisions. Decisions, you know what I mean? There's an overseer and a crew officer back there. But there's only 4 of us, so we should be good. Your portrait... Or, not portrait. You will encounter enemies with various abilities and features. An icon next to an enemy's portrait indicates that they are under the influence of some kind of effect. Click right mouse button on the effects icon to see more details. If you wish to learn more about an enemy, click right mouse button on their portrait or the enemy themselves. Okay, well, let's see. I'm gonna have to learn how to play this game a little bit better. But we'll just do this for now and hope for the best. Well, no we won't. Wait. Let's buff Abelard, I guess? And then we'll gain resolve.
I'll see to it personally.
And I think I still have enough to shoot. Yeah.
I'll make it happen.
Not the enemy.
You see that? I aimed this way. I still shot Adira in the back. I don't know how that happened, but okay. I will suspend my bewilderment. Okay. Let's see. Let's try to analyze.
No can do. That is not my destiny.
No.
I'm not so sure.
Damn. This is a little bit difficult. Can I lightning arc? No, I can lightning arc this guy though. Not bad. Not that good either, but you know. Let's
But of
increase
course.
dodge and parry. Okay. To use the unique abilities called Heroic Acts or Desperate Measures, momentum is required. Depending on the actions of your party in combat, the momentum bar will increase or decrease. A high momentum value allows a character to use a Heroic Act. A low value grants access to Desperate Measures. Both abilities can completely change the course of a battle, but every party member can either use one or the other, and only once in a single combat. Okay. Is one of these considered desperate? Immediately removes the winded effect. What is winded? Oh, until the end of the next turn, the soldier becomes winded. While winded, the soldier suffers a 10% minus 10 penalty to ballistic.
Faith without deeds is
I'll just try it.
worthless.
I mean, what do we have to lose, you know? Aside from our lives, that is.
Doubt is for the
Dang! Do it again. Can I?
As the Emperor commands,
Dang!
can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, well. Can't use this, so guess we're done there. Oh, that's right. There are some soldiers here that are not heretics. So it's like having a few extra turns in its own way. Damn, not bad. Okay. This guy's really slow. Welcome into Appy. Welcome in. How art thou? Welcome in. Let's see. All incoming damage is reduced by 3. I don't know. I think I'll just shoot. I mean, the shots aren't that good. That was just 4 damage, and this thing has 104 health, but can't really do much about that. And Appy's lurking. Hope you enjoy your lurk. Hope you enjoy your lurk. Yeah, I think that's all we can do here. Oh, wait, no. Here's the desperate thing. Daring Breach. The warrior immediately restores all AP and MP and gains 4 MP until the end of the turn. They do not lose MP after performing attacks. The warrior has no limit on melee weapon attacks this turn. Not bad. Not gonna use it, but not yet anyway. I'm gonna wait until this guy gets close.
Such is the will of chaos.
Oh. Okay, he's close enough. Oh.
Strengthens me.
Shoot!
Die!
Okay. Now, what status effects did I just gain? Bleeding. Suffers damage at the start of each turn. The effect can be removed by any source of healing. Yeah, we got a little bit of ear bleed, I think. Now the real question is whether I want to give Abelard... Make him go up. What is this? Finest Hour. The officer grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP. During the extra turn, there is no attack limit. Why not? You know, Abelard.
To witness this.
Abelard, run in. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Indeed.
That pretty pathetic. I can't even lie.
Victory is imminent.
I am growing more concerned by the second. Oh, baby. Things are not looking good. And I don't know why I stood him right here, because now I can't shoot. Oh, we could immediately grant extra turn with 2... Oh, 2 AP but no MP, though. Hold on. Okay, let's see. You know what? Let's...
I won't compromise my
can't do it.
principles.
Okay. Let's increase all the stats. And
Who, if not me?
I'll give Abelard another turn. Go, Abelard!
It will be done.
Do your pathetic attacks. What?
At your beck and call.
Well, maybe he'll be okay. I don't know. He'll be fine, maybe. Let's try
I'll
this.
make it happen.
Okay. So we could analyze. And
On it.
do one of these. The exposed weakness. Not bad. Can I shriek directly at the guy? I think so. What? I don't... Wait, I don't understand. What did I just do? I used Psychic Streak, right?
Not this Gryer,
Oh,
George.
not that. It's a minor psychic power. Does this guy absorb psychic or something? Natural armor. Oh no, he used Devourer. So the creature devours an ally, restoring 30% of the creature's maximum wounds. So it killed an ally. I don't know who it killed, but I think it killed somebody. That would explain it. Okay. Well. Okay, let's increase Abelard's dodge and parry. I think that'll do us some good. Okay.
I'll do it.
It's not that good, but not that bad either, I guess. Pathetic shot. Whatever shot. Okay. I think I should probably enable Endure just in case.
It will be done.
It's too bad you can only attack once though, huh?
I'd rather not.
Only once a turn. It's too bad. I mean, I guess you could... I mean, you can't really charge though.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
Stay vigilant.
Damn. They got one of my guys. Cool. Didn't know it could do that.
What is it?
Healing in combat. You can use a med kit to restore your party member's wounds in battle, treat an injury, or get rid of certain negative effects if the character is injured or suffering such an effect. If the character has a med kit equipped, its icon will be displayed on the bottom left. If no such icon is present, open your inventory and equip a medkit by double-clicking left mouse button on it to use a medkit. Select its icon at the bottom of the screen, then click left mouse button on the character who requires treatment or their portrait. A character can only use a medkit on a target they are adjacent to. Medikits can only be used by characters who have the Field Medic feature base skill Medicae, or have taken the Medicae skill advancement at least once. A Medicae skill test determines the number of wounds restored. Each medikit holds 2 or more charges, with 1 charge being consumed per use. Once used, medikits disappear from the panel on the bottom of the screen, so remember to equip your characters with new medkits regularly. Note that healing, just like most actions, spends the character's action points in combat. Cool. Okay, well, can we? We already did Abelard, but can we do Argenta?
Refuse.
Target's too far.
He's as good as done.
Oh, I thought I already used this on Abelard. Okay, well,
Victory is imminent. Exemplary strike.
not bad.
I've
Ow.
suffered worse.
Ooh, still not that bad. Okay, might be able to strike one more time.
Grey hair, sure hair.
Yeah, having Abelard here is it's pretty good. Pretty good for us. Oh, I should have voice commanded him. I don't. Yeah, never mind. I can't. Whoops.
I won't stand for it.
Dear. Voice of the Emperor. I'm a little too afraid to shoot because I'm not really sure if I'll hit Abelard. So I'll just buff everybody. And same thing with this. The lightning arc, that's gonna hit Abelard, so I can't use that. Appy says, I had to drive to work in the morning to grab my work laptop. Mama needs to use the car on Friday, too, so I think I'm gonna fall sick. Oh no. I think I'm sick. I have been doing things like at work just back to back to back. There is a part of me that I feel like I'm like overexerting. I need some rest. I don't know what it is about this week, but like I've been feeling tired, man. I mean, I always feel like kind of tired, but Like yesterday, I went to sleep at like 10. Like knocked out. I couldn't stay awake. I had to go to sleep. Today, I feel a little better since I slept a little longer, but even so, I'm just kind of like... Grizz says, I'm doing something I've never really done before. What is that, Grizz? What are you doing, good sir? Oh, and Azrae ate before the stream started. You made a mistake. You have no power over me? No. You see, in 2 hours, you're gonna get hungry again. And then you're gonna order a pizza. Get ready. He's gonna do it. I absolutely guarantee it. He's ordering a pizza.
Was that you? Or
I 101,000,000% guarantee it.
Anything else?
Damn, that was 20 damage just now. Not bad. Oh. Oh, wait, oh, wrong button. What does this say? Until the end of combat. Wow. That's pretty
On
good.
it.
it cleanses the body.
Okay. We could burst fire. Nah. Let's fire away.
Faith without worthless.
Damn. Not bad. Okay. I thought that was one of my guys, but it's good. It's all good. And Grizz is drawing. Nice. What are you drawing? Like Happy says, what are you drawing? And Azrae will be in bed by then. No, you won't. Nah, maybe. I don't know.
It will be done.
You could be in bed, but what if, right? What if you instead chose to eat a pizza? Also, let's restore Ali.
No matter the cost.
I think we might be able to
It will be done.
help this guy. We have no limit to the amount of
Victory
options.
is imminent.
Yeah, it's over.
At your back of the...
For that guy. I don't know how many else there are, but that guy's done. Right. Let's go, dude. Wait, don't... Oh, don't do that. Can I shoot that guy? The heretic cutthroat? I might be able to. Oh no, it's 2 AP. I only have 1. Damn. Yeah, even the charge is 2 AP. Well, you know, good work. It's good work. We'll just move Abelard back.
Follow my lead.
We'll have him retreat. Not bad, Abelard. Very impressed. We're still bleeding, though. Not really sure how to fix that problem. Ow. Can I action point this Overseer? No, I can't. That would be dumb, right? Yeah, that'd be dumb. Azrae says, tomorrow is my last day to jog for the week. I'm hoping to finish strong. Very nice. I've already given up for the week, I think. I've busted my ankles, so I don't feel good when I run. It's not like a muscle thing. It's like the bones in my ankles just hurt. I don't know if it's just like I'm just 40 pounds heavier than I was in high school, but it just busts my ankles. Not your last day for hoop. I basketball as I please. Azrae's new player. I basketball as I please. Okay, I don't know what to do about my player character here. There's not really much I can do about this. I mean, I could run forward, but I feel like it would be better if the heretic came to me, you know?
My prescience has failed me.
Ouch. Adira might die right here. Are we standing in, like, toxic something,
What
or...
is this foreboding?
Oh, wait. We have a bag. Why didn't I think of this? Can't be equipped by this character. Then... What? Then who... Who's the one with the medkits? Oh. What? I gave it to Abelard and Argenta, but I didn't give it to Adira. I don't know if Adira can... Actually, Adira... Oh, never mind. Yep. I should have moved Adira that way, but I did not. Very cool. Oh, but I could move Argenta this way. Technically. Yeah. There we go. She's good. Now she's good. Argenta's out in the middle of nowhere. Oh! Okay, that shot was actually impossible, but... Okay. That guy got shot. This guy was standing down here. He shot through the stairs somehow and hit a guy sitting on the other stairs. No idea how that works, but who am I to question, I guess. Alright, we got another level up, even though I literally just did one. Let's see. Asbury says if the weather is nice, then there's nobody on the court, I'll play some ball. You can only play in early morning or late night. You could go right now. You could play ball right now. You know what I mean? Let's see. All time is ball time. That was a weird way to... Welcome into Mandy. Disregard what I said a moment ago. Welcome in. How are you? How are things? Mandy says, I said hello to my boss earlier because I'm so used to talking to Azura. Hello. Hello, boss. I'm here for work. Oh! I almost forgot. My mom told me dinner was ready a while ago. I'll be right back. Hold on. I actually forgot. Damn it. Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on. Alright, fellas. I'm back. Okay. My worlds are merging. They are merging. They are becoming one. Okay. Oh, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. This is just recommended, huh? There's so much reading, man. I'm having a hard time. Fellowship might be good, though, right? Persuasion, coercion, or willpower. I picked Psyker, didn't I? Yeah, willpower would be better. Well, but our fellowship's pretty low. Let's do fellowship. And, a common talent. Okay, this might be perfect timing, because I actually have to eat. And there's a lot to read, so I think I'll eat and I'll read at the same time. So hopefully that'll be good. Mowed the lawn today and it's raining tonight. Isn't that a good thing? If it rains after you mow the lawn? Doesn't it get absorbed into the lawn and all that? Hold on. I'm gonna be munching for a moment. I'm gonna mute my mic. Alright, sorry guys. I'm back and here to say, here we go. Sorry about that. It was chips and dip for dinner tonight, and
I always keep my options
there was no way I could slyly eat while playing this game, so I had to just like stuff everything in my face real quick. I ate like twice as fast. But now we're back. We leveled up. Actually, let me give a quick save. Quick save. Yes. Wait, what? Oh, have I been new saving this whole time? That's why. Okay, that's strange. All right. Let's see where we can go. Actually, let me check the journal, just so we're up to date on everything that's happening. So, last stream, towards the end, we reached a secret lift, a separate lift that led to Theodora von Valancius' personal quarters. We found Theodora von Valancius, who vanished right after leaving the officer's deck. She's dead. We reached the Voidship Bridge. Ethelthrad was going to confront Voigtavir and his heretics on the bridge. He will need all the help he can get for the counterattack to succeed. However, I decided that we were going to save some of the civilians on the ship instead of going to Voigtavir. For that reason, Voigtavir had died. So, Ethelthrad's reckless bravery cost him his life. He died trying to disrupt Voigtavir's ritual, put the creature the Psyker has turned into... We put the creature Ethelthrad turned into out of its misery, and now we have to find the Master Helmsman. The Master Helmsman must be found in order to bring the transformate... Sorry. I haven't, given myself time to get my voice back. The Master Helmsman must be found in order to begin the translation from the warp. He is the only person capable of coordinating the crew and guiding the void ship out of this perilous dimension. Okay. But I'm not quite sure where he is, so we're just gonna guess.
Yeah.
Right, Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal, living and breathing. Oh, well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
The white-haired man with sickly, pale skin salutes you. We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's Sanctum. It is our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking.
Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
Abelard pauses for a few seconds before turning to you. He directs your attention upward, to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. How did people survive in here?
Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them, but it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then, I prayed for our rescue.
The man glances around the bridge. What must I do?
Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report. Oh, blast it all to the void. Translation is a craft, not something that can be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. Oh, please, hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk.
Alrighty. I am ready. Begin the ritual. My throne now. It belongs to me. You think they have a world just to make candles? The image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents, invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath this thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It has taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp.
Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug their foul roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same call that has finally invaded your mind. You are to blame for Theodore's death?
I am the beginning and the end, and all that courses in between. I am the voice of the truth that is destined to triumph. For this triumph is the terminal point of every twisted maze of fate.
What? The vision lets out a cawing laugh.
The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy, a relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day. The day of my resurrection.
Your head begins to spin and vicious drops slither down your cheeks. You blink, and you are no longer looking at Theodora. It is the traitor, Voigtavir, just as fluid and ephemeral as the previous apparition. The same terrifying voice seeds from his lips. I don't know what any of these words mean. Maybe I'm not supposed to understand.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return to me.
The image is scattered by invisible sorcerous winds, and you see Adira, her eyes aglow with the same sinister flame.
The path is
set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
A cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple, the images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard, the loyal seneschal of the dynasty.
Seneschal, the navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
Ravor turns around and looks up at you. He hesitates for a few moments, then addresses Abelard, who is standing next to you.
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Abelard nods absent-mindedly.
Seneschal, we could tell us now. Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
Ravor does not look away. He is giving you a hard stare, his white brows furrowed.
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you, with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow, that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty.
It takes time for Abelard to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens, and begins to speak.
By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision.
We can tell him, no, no! No, I don't want to be captain, no, no, no! After waiting out the first wave of shocked cries, Abelard glances at you and continues. Let's say nothing.
It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the warrant of trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live.
Abelard stops short and glares fiercely at the confused officers.
The deed is done, Master. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
The Seneschal turns to you. He looks at least half a decade older. Alright. Look at me.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained. For the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived. And through the strength of his resolve, saved those who were counting on him for protection.
Easy work. Alright, we finally completed the prologue. The prologue is finally complete. Anyway, what I meant to say before the cutscene. I meant to say, look at me. I'm the Rogue Trader now. Deep shadows of weariness can be seen on Abelard's face, though the old officer's eyes are keen. They rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, then nods to himself. Well then, your lordship. Cargo management. Open the cargo management screen to learn more about the cargo on your flagship, the amount of types, and the percentage of cargo being filled up. On the cargo tab, you can see the details about the items packed in each cargo slot. If you need to use an item that is already packed, move that item back to your inventory. Cargo is needed when trading with merchants. You will meet them soon. Continue. You cannot help but notice that the Seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely I was wounded by the corruption, is gloating at the officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Abelard pulls himself together. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior middle-ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by the deputy's deputy, while others go unfilled entirely. And now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. We can tell him, wait, there's a more pressing problem. I don't want to be the rogue trader. Well, how did we come to lose so many officers? It's kind of a dumb question, you know? It's like, we were attacked. I mean, I'm just going to ask the dumb question because I want to see what happens. It appears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising given that their informant on board was our own Master of Whispers. Abelard grimaces. What is on the agenda for this meeting? Reports on the condition of the ship and crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I am still receiving updates from across the ship, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your lordship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge, and they in turn will have the honor of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. Have you succeeded in tracking down Voigtavir? Abelard grits his teeth. No, Lord Captain. In all the commotion, his trail went cold. Our people are still on the hunt for him and any mutineers who may still be skulking in the ship's many corridors, but frankly I would not be surprised to hear that we are now 1 shuttle short. I am afraid that it will be some time before he answers for all that he has wrought. Alright, well, I'm ready to start the briefing. Summon the officers. With a gesture, Abelard relays the order to the adjutants? Adjutants? At the far end of the magnificent chamber. Oh no. It's like I'm a king. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Attention officers, you have been granted an honor. Lord Captain Taku von Valancius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps you would introduce those present, Abelard. As you wish, your lordship. Abelard points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vijdis Suri Otta of the Ptoleman line, our new Vox Master. Oh. I gotta pick voices, huh? It is an honor to serve, your lordship. The Vox Master offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Ravor, the Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us to ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. The bearded man with pale, almost transparent skin. large dark circles under his eyes, me IRL, and a dour expression, me IRL, that seems hardwired into his face, gives a sullen nod. Hey, Lord Captain. This here ship's as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our High Factorum, Janice Danrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. It is an honor, your lordship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. I can't remember all the voices I set for everybody. In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. The Master of Ordnance is responsible for the artillery aboard. The Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fires on the ship. And lastly, the Drives Master, the servant of the Omnissiah. The 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Drives Master offers a salute resembling a dance, involving the complicated manipulation of all the Tex Priest's mechadendrites. Thank you, Abelard. Greetings to you all. I serve at your pleasure, Lord Captain. I wish to hear the Infernus Master's report. Okay, I don't have this many voices on me. Yes, Lord Captain. The tall man bows his head in deference. I can report that all fires across all decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties has been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factorum. The post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. Oh, the post passed to him, comma, after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. Abelard remarks in a low voice pitched for your ears only, the lad is managing well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. High Factorum, what have you to report? We are toiling day and night to complete a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your lordship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for attention and that all lost supplies are replaced. There is only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately this number is not confined to the scum from the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. We will be able to make up our losses on the nearest planet, Rykad Manoris. However, the planet, the whole system, in fact, belongs to the Winterscale Rogue Trader Dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on the planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations at this level are a matter for the Rogue Trader. Especially true, given Caligos Winterscale's penchant for attacking first and asking questions later, and the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets, rumbles Abelard, frowning. Drives Master, I will hear from you now. A voice distorted by a Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech priest's scarlet hood. Lord Captain, the foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed, thank the Omnissiah, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. With great sorrow, I must report that the Enginseer Prime, Overseer, and spiritual authority of all tech priests on board fell in battle. The Magos was betrayed by the little flesh that remained part of him. A most terrible loss. There is no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. We require a replacement as soon as possible. Would someone care to translate the esteemed Drive Master's words? You know, I kind of understand already, to be honest with you. I see, thank you. The tech priest bows her head. Master Helmsman, deliver your status report. Right you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. The ship's sound, more or less, but without our Enginseer Prime and Navigator who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. If we try to set so much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what'll happen first. Our warp drive being torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Your Lordship, if you will allow me to interject, when we arrived in the system, my crew followed standard protocols and conducted a count of all the available communication channels in the region. One of them was a Navis Nobilite station. The station maintains complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in the very same system is an incredible stroke of luck, a true blessing from the Emperor. Hold on. Yeah. A sharp bolt of pain lances through your skull as if in response to what you just heard. You understand that it is not the God Emperor you should thank for such good fortune. The words of the demon that appeared before you during the translation to real space echo in your mind. I am the will of the Weaver, and I am the will of the Weaver of Destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less bad news, we can go round and round this system till our heads are swimming as long as the promethium and supplies last. And if any thick as Grok's poop lowlifes come sniffing around, we'll be able to take them out, so don't you worry on that score. Okay. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? The Master of Ordnance gives you a gloomy look. No. My job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire where I'm told. But just ask anyone. We've got no able crew, no Lord Captain. Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. The Master of Ordnance chokes back the words he was obviously about to blurt out without thinking. He casts another look at you before turning away. I apologize profusely, Lord Captain. Pardon the fool. The ship is in ruins. Every other officer is dead, and the Lord Captain is no longer with us. Fear has taken hold of me. He looks up at you. But I've heard of you. Oh, yes. Oh, hold on. Your fame has reached even as far as the Expanse. I can't be showing myself up in front of an illustrious person such as yourself. He adjusts his uniform and stands ramrod straight. The Master of Ordnance can report that the rest of the arsenal has been saved and the battery is in good order. We are ready to fight if that is the Captain's will. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses in crew members and we require a new Enginseer Prime and Navigator. Is this all that is preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Captain. But bear in mind that this will not be the end of our trials. The ship's systems must be properly inspected for major damage, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. But we will never reach Footfall without first solving these three immediate problems. What can you tell me about the system in which we currently find ourselves? I cede to the Vox Master on this point, Mistress Tolman. We are in the Rykad star system, and our voyage here was undertaken on the orders of your lordship's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited bodies in this system, and our attempts to send Vox messages have produced confounding results. The Navis Nobolite station has not simply failed to answer, it seems to be maintaining total Vox silence. However, we did receive a distress signal from the prison planetoid in the system, and Rykad Minoris itself is also not responding to our hails. But what is most alarming is that our augurs have intercepted signals from the surface that seem to indicate ongoing hostilities on the planet. An augur being a sensor technology that allows void ships to scan planets, spot enemies, and obtain various other kinds of crucial data at great distances. The situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, a tech priest, and new crew members, we won't be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the Navis Nobolite station and find out what in the void is going on. What the void? Okay. Thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. The assembled officers salute you as one. Your lordship, there is one other thing. A confidential matter of the utmost importance. Lady Theodora... Abelard hesitates. Your eternally esteemed predecessor brought the ship here to this system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering, who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything? And I shall tell you. The Lord Inquisitor, the Hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Cronus Expanse. What? I came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodore's desk. It was signed XC. Are you referring to the contents of that note? You are referring to the contents of that note, I presume. Yes, quite right. XC. Xavier Calcazar. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Henrix van Kalox. An interrogator, you understand. All I know is that he is somewhere in this system, that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to Footfall. In the Furibundus system, finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult indeed. But an Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities in the system, either the Navis Nobolite or the governor of Rykad Minoris, may know something. That is all of it, your lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it is a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon, you must take up the reins of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look, as if trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems he is about to offer some words of encouragement. Adira, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. The Sister of Battle grimly nods toward Adira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judged that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. For a moment, Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request. But it can wait. Speak with me when you have time, Rogue Trader. Adira's glazed eyes rove over those assembled. One word burst from her lips. Daybreak. Adira, come to your senses. Damn it. Adira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your Lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future and it hit me so hard my head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn. And it's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? We cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Talas? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it, alright? Welcome back to Grizz. Welcome back. Welcome back, just sleepy story time. How was your drawing? You're drawing a cat? Feel free to send it to the Discord. I want to take a look. I hope the cat is very, very wonderful and cat-like. I hope it's wonderful. Captain, if you want me to take a closer look into your future, find me on the bridge and we can talk. Lady Theodora was well served by my whispers on many occasions, and I'm sure you will benefit from them as well. The Psyker's bitten lips stretch into a wry smile. If there's nothing else of value to report, I declare this briefing concluded. It is time to get to work. It is time to get to work. Oh, another person approaching? Hello. The High Factorum breaks away from the rest and approaches you, bowing repeatedly. Captain, if I may steal just one more moment of your time, the matter is rather delicate, as it concerns trophies that were left after the battles on the ship. One trophy in particular, I should say. I retrieved a blade fragment from one of the bodies on the bridge. A curious article. I saw the need to keep it safe in case it should be of interest to you. As he says this, the Factorum's gaze slides away from yours, and he looks off somewhere over your shoulder. Grizz says, it's my first time drawing, and it's not finished, so please don't judge me too hard. Okay. I'll judge extra hard. I'm joking. No, I'm joking, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I won't judge. No. No, I won't judge. Let's see. How is it heresy to inspect the blade fragment? And I don't want him to keep it either. I mean, heresy, right? How dangerous is it, you know? Whatever. He can keep it. I don't care. We keep it for now. As soon as we locate this acolyte of the Inquisition, you will hand the blade over to him. We'll probably locate this guy pretty soon, so I'm not too worried. A strike of pain pierces your skull. The entity inside you howls and rages, promising you 1,000,000 torments and miseries for this treachery. The Factorum gives a start and briskly makes a note on his data slate. Of course. That might bite me in the butt later. I'm not sure if that's gonna... Not sure if that's gonna work in my favor, but I'll do it anyway, I guess. Okay. It's in your art. Thank you. Let me take a look. Ah. Very nice, Grizz. And what do you mean it's your first time really drawing anything? I think as long as you enjoy drawing, I think it's something to pursue. Very nice. Very nice cat. Very nice. Thank you for sharing with us. Very nice. Very nice. Great work, Grizz. What inspired you to draw a cat? Is it just something special about the day? A thin, pale woman stands out among the rest of the crew. There is a thick bundle of cables coming out of the back of her skull and disappearing under her ceremonial garment, and you see the grate of a quietly humming vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in a respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Captain? Remind me who you are? Vox Master Octavius Vigdis Suriada of the Ptolemon dynasty, the current Vox Master serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Vox Master Septimus, who was my grandfather. What are the Vox Master's duties? I am the ears and the voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels, and we also ensure clean communications and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Voxcasters. If you ever want to know what worries or concerns your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in local networks after their watches, and what their leaders are clamoring about over shortwave Vox transmissions, just come and see me. I will satisfy your curiosity. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Captain, I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. Your appearance is unique. You are a Voidborn, are you not? Grizz says, I don't know, I just started drawing something and I kind of look like a cat, so I went with it. Very nice. How are you feeling, Grizz? Are you feeling well? Are you feeling good? How is life treating you, Grizz? Vigidus Vox crackles with barely audible laughter. Don't you know, Captain? Both of us were born in the cold vastness of space. Technically true. But there are no 2 identical tales, just as there are no 2 identical stars. That's gotta be a lie, surely. If you like, I will gladly tell you about the lives of the Voidborn aboard this vessel. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn in my crew. To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. We are a part of the ship just like it is a part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny. Others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Most of the Voidborn are members of the large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for a certain aspect of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemon dynasty has produced the ship's Vox Masters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. Grizz says, I'm good. How are you, my friend? Good, I think. I've been having some pretty long days lately. At work. Like, it's kind of nice because it's so busy, it's kind of like I just have stuff to do back to back to back. Which really isn't a bad thing. I feel like with my old job, when I had stuff to do back to back to back, it was very overwhelming. Because a lot of things at my old job required me to to know what to do. And a lot of the times the problem was new, so I didn't know how to fix the problem. As a result, it was really hard to tell when I would complete a problem because I don't even understand the full scope of the problem. But with the new job, I understand the scope of the problem, I already know how to fix it, and then I just schedule a time to fix the problem, and then I pad that time with knowing that problems that are unforeseen might arise. But generally, I'm just kind of like back to back to back. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you, thank you. I was gonna say all I have is root beer, but technically I have a water back here. Old water. I'm king of Water Cup City, you see. But thank you for the hydrate. But yeah, all this is to say, I think generally I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing good, but I'm also doing a lot. So it's kind of hard to... It's kind of hard to say. Grizz says, I think I'm going to drink alcohol. Grizz. Wait, Grizz, how long has it been since you drank? I thought you, like, went a whole month without drinking. What happened, Grizz? Did you know? Fun Taku factoid. I've never drank. And for the record, I am past drinking age. By a pretty decent margin. I have not drank alcohol. And welcome in to Unholy Crusader 7. Welcome in. Crusader says, Abelard, announce my arrival. And let this man know alcohol tastes really good. Well, I wouldn't know, unfortunately. I don't know. I mean, I've said this before, but the simple I like you. I've said this before, but I get a little like I'm a very impulsive person. Like if I crave something, if I crave food, a drink, chances are I'm just gonna eat or drink it, you know? I'm very impulsive in that way. And I worry about developing a drinking problem because I know myself to be impulsive. So, in order to avoid ever developing a drinking problem, I've been avoiding alcohol as much as possible. Now you might think to yourself, but Taku, if you're impulsive, then how did you manage to drink alcohol, or how did you manage to not drink alcohol this whole time? Excellent question. It's the fear of what will become of me that prevents me from jumping down that rabbit hole. Anyway, to Unholy Crusader, welcome in. How are you? And what do you think of Rogue Trader? Actually, what do you think of the DLC? I am curious. There was someone on YouTube that had commented about how the DLC is really good. I don't remember what DLC that guy was talking about, but I've personally been avoiding I personally made a conscious decision to not purchase the DLC because the people that are playing Rogue Trader the reviews were saying that the first DLC is kind of like, it's good, but the second DLC didn't even come out yet. It's been so long, and now they announced another season pass, and they announced a whole nother game. So people were advising that you not buy the DLC until the season pass is concluded, so that you can make a better informed decision about buying it, or something like that. Grizz is craving udon. Dude, I've been wanting to make that. You know you can make it yourself? If you get like, I think it's like flour and like water and salt is like all you really need. And then you can just like, you can make it yourself. It's a simple thing to make, but it's a hard thing to master. Crusader says, Lord Taku, I sadly have not gotten the DLC yet, but I have been greatly enjoying the base game. Ah. So have I. I'm an XCOM guy. I'm an XCOM and a Wasteland 3 guy. So this is kind of an in-between. It is a little... So far, I like everything about this game. There is a little more reading than I'd like, but... I mean, as long as you guys are okay with it, I can read it out. It's no big deal. But I do very much enjoy the game so far. It is quite nice. It is quite nice. How long have you played the game, Unholy Crusader? How long? And it's so bussin'. It's so bussin'. It really is. You know, I never really liked udon noodles growing up, but now that I see how they're made, there's something about, like, seeing how it's made that helps me to appreciate the craft and helps it to taste better. I don't know what it is, but, yeah, there's something like, back where I used to live, there was this one udon place that you could get, like, it was almost like a cafeteria line, which makes it sound like it sucks, but, you essentially, like, you order the noodles and you get to, like, put all the toppings on top and they calculate how much it costs at the end. That's good, man. Unholy Crusader says, I'm a huge bookworm, so I mind not the reading. I mind not the reading. The reading does not affect me. I don't know. I've never been much of a book guy. I don't know if you can tell. My low intelligence. I can read, though. It's just a little hard at the end of a workday. But, no, it is very much like a book. So, I hope that everyone here thinks of it like an audiobook. Sort of. Sort of. Anywho. But yeah. Welcome in. I'm gonna read this real quick. Don't hesitate to chat. Definitely love to hear from you, regardless of what it is you have to say. Most of the Voidborn are members of the large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for a certain aspect of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptoleman dynasty has produced the ship's Voxmasters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. Oh, also, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the Dark Tide Mastiff update. I say I'm really excited about it. Can't even name the update. The update with the dog. I'm so excited, man. Crusader says, spoiler free, I've only gotten nearly past the point of getting a new navigator. Ah! It must be... I imagine that would probably be like 20 hours in. I'm purely guessing. I've never played this game before. But I imagine that would still be pretty early on. But nice. Very nice. I'll have to keep an eye out for that part. I'll have to keep a watch. Also, if you like 40k and you like Left 4 Dead, play Dark Tide, please. Dark Tide is so good. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its demesne. What? I've never heard of that word before. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. Grizz says, I was just reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Ah. I think I vaguely remember about this. Tom Sawyer and his best friend, I can't remember his name. But I remember us talking about this about a month ago. I vaguely remember. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who will get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages. Vigidus hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Adira Plas not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. Oh, thank you, Appy. Huck Finn. Thank you. So churro. Huck Finn, thank you. Crusader says, it is, as I guess, within the first 5 to 7. Your old navigator is one of the first fatalities. You need to be able to travel to the warp and go to other places outside the current solar system. Ah, yes. I vaguely remember that being said in the... I vaguely remember that being said in the briefing a moment ago. But... Ow. Damn, I just scratched the hell out of my face. Yeah, I think we're about 7 hours in currently. Roughly. I think I'm reading a little slow. Looks like you were close friends with Adira. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corners of Vigidus's eyes, the only hint that the Voxmaster is smiling. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage. But you see, many consider Adira to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company, discussing regicide over a glass of Amasek. Similar to chess. Except, Adira changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Adira considers me her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her, in my own way. Perception test succeeded. Interpreting the Voxmaster's emotions based on a half-face and a Vox-modulated voice is no easy task, but you managed to catch the undercurrent in Vigidus's words. The Voxmaster is not merely saddened by her rift with Adira, she is devastated by it. Have you ever left the ship? No, I did once, and it was dreadful. It felt like the massive blue dome overhead could shatter at any moment and fall, and my bones would be crushed by the gravity. Vigidus twitches her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Captain, and I would not trade it even for the bounty of 100 worlds. That's kind of real. I'm an indoor person as well. Crusader whispers, I was wrong. My save file is 18 hours. Oopsies. That's okay. It's a good sign if you're 18 hours in and it feels like 5 to 7. That's a good sign. Very good sign. For me, it feels like 3, roughly. I see. Let us return to business. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. Fellowship test succeeded. The Voxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Captain. Gain 28 experience. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. I don't know why, but I can picture my player character just being like, "For Atoma!" and everybody just cheers. For the Emperor! That will be all for now. Okay. For Toma! If I lived alone, I'd probably scream for a Toma. But unfortunately, I would probably disturb everyone. Even the neighbors. Okay, Who's this? Named NPC. Ah! The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscle. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Captain, Master Helmsman Ravor, at your service. Who are you? I'm the Master Helmsman. I stand at the wheel of this here tub, I mean your vessel, and bark commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I'm the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or a disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp too, but most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm. They count for nothing in here. My part's small enough, I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and I don't kick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation, that kind of stuff shows up everywhere. Thank the Emperor, the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way. Who are these idiots you were in charge of? There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the Engineerium, voidsmen from the augur decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I'd have every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape, or else this ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere we don't want it to. That's enough for now. Right you are. You're a Voidborn, are you not? That I am. Born into a helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15, then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower hold scum. They spared the youngins, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors, but I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me, so I escaped into the crawlways. And then I spent months picking them off one after the other. Ravor stops abruptly. You got me talking up a storm. Anyways, yes, I'm a Voidborn. Finish your story. Ravor stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then I fled upward to the middle decks. That's where the augur operations took me under their wing. They have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter, then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Dranik spotted me and lured me away. The cheeky blighter. I see you are not a gregarious sort. Ravor's eyes twitch, which makes the grimace on his face even uglier. Have I done something to displease you? I don't know what the word gregarious means. Does anyone know what gregarious means? I guess we'll just say I am merely sharing an observation. Ravor gives you a careful look and scoffs. Right you are. It's not hard to see I'm in a foul mood. I'm not the only one to blame for it, you know. Ravor points at the cables around himself. Connecting wires. Once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship. Except, the bloody cogs messed up the wire stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles. Tell me about the Voidborn. Winston rubs his temple. Crusader says, not a super social person is what the Lord Captain means. Ah! Thank you, Crusader. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you! I gotta remember that. Gregarious. Not a social person. Ravor winces and rubs his temple. Captain, I mean no disrespect, but you'd do better to find someone with a knack for conversation like Tolaman, the new Voxmaster. I ain't the talking type, I just get the ship where she needs to go. Best let folks stick to what they do best. What can you tell me about the other officers? Good for nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take Janus Danrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes so they take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from footfall for him. Got caught by the seneschal and ended up in the void hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. The Voxmaster, another Tolaman like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post, said the Vox systems were damaged and the Engineerium had no contact with other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the cog reports with the power of my mind? First officer was Warzarian. I can't stand him. Like every naval officer I've ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him had to have words a few times before he left me alone. Thank the Emperor Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when it came to helming a void ship. Then there's that woman, what's her name? Class. Lady Theodora brought her along wherever she went, and look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out it was that witch that delivered her to an early grave, just like countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship, but some would disagree. They say she's friends with young Tolaman, you know, or at least she used to be. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? Ravor looks perplexed. What kind of a question is that? I like you. And Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? Ha! I don't want to die just yet. Ravor acknowledges you with a nod and turns away. Let me save to make sure I got all that dialogue. Okay, and Argentus hanging out over here too.
Rogue trader.
Why are you voiced? Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's a little on edge. You said you have a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader. The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
No. Yeah. It's the least I could do. What good would meeting them do? I don't want to meet orphans. Let's see. Damn, some of these are pretty whack. I will meet with them. No formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the von Valancius dynasty. My consideration is the least that they deserve.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart.
Nope. Whoops. Off I go. I didn't know we were going now. Okay. Well. Hello, kids. Bro. These aren't children. These are actual adults. These are like actual 30 to 40-year-olds, but okay. The motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale. Words I don't know. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Abelard glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the Scala Progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. The Scala is a division of the ecclesiarchy responsible for the upbringing, education, and training of orphans of those officers and nobles who have died in the service of the Imperium. Crusader says, keep in mind, my lord, your position is one of more importance than these rabble. I like this mission. No, I don't have time to meet with you. I'm royalty. Do you think that of all the worlds in the universe, you have the authority to meet with me because your parent died? Nay. Dare I even waste a breath? Dare I even waste a millisecond looking in your pathetic direction? Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valancius. Crusader says, indefatigable. Unable to have fatigue. Ah! What? But then wouldn't it just be unfatigable? Unfatigable. No, I guess that does make sense. I don't know how to pronounce it though. Indefatigable? Or is it indefatigable? It's fine. I'll just look it up later. I'll just listen to one of those Google Translate pronunciations. Or Google Dictionary. You notice Infernus Master Einrich Montag standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. Give them treats and escort them to their homes. I believe a minute of beholding the Lord Captain is a great honor enough for them. That is wild. I've met with you. Here's a candy. Okay, go home. Would you like a candy, child? Excellent. This candy and my present should be enough. Go home. Crusader says, you had it first one. I had to have it pronounced by Google too. Ah, thank you, Crusader. Indefatigable. I don't remember what I said first, but I think that was it. But nice. Very nice. My pronunciation strikes again. In a good way. I think the right response to this is sorry for your loss. You know, keep it simple, clean. I am curious if he serves as a teacher, but giving them treats is insane, but And Furnace Master, do you serve as a teacher in your spare time? Not at all. I'm just looking out for them. It's the Infernus way to help folks in trouble. It's our job, after all. So we chip in rations here and there and make sure nobody gives them a hard time. We take the older ones into the clan's care if they want. Many in the guild are not our family by blood, but by circumstance. I, the rogue trader and captain of the ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honor to the Von Valancius banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them, and I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. The teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed by your speech. I don't believe this. This is a very adult response. I feel like IRL teenagers wouldn't even be paying attention. It's fine. One of the scowling visitors, with a thin scar across his face, tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Okay, this is... I can believe this. So did you want the candy then? Did you want me to give you candy and be on your way, or...? Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impudence. Man, you can be pretty harsh, huh? I mean, we're pretty early into this game, so I'm not quite sure how far reaching my words are gonna affect things. I'm just gonna assume that they are. Don't tell me, but now we're in 40k. There isn't really a moral good guy necessarily. This is rough because while I empathize with what they went through, if I... taking away that this is a game for a second, let's just assume anything can happen, right? I feel that allowing people to speak freely in this, like, lower deck could cause a mutiny in the long run. But at the same time, it's like, you should be able to speak freely. But at the same time, if I let you speak freely, what if you just mutiny? I'm thinking. Crusader says, well, to be fair, they are standing in the presence of what would be compared to a president with the power to give you more power than you can comprehend. Yeah, I think it's... I don't know. It's tough. Because like Appy says, 40K is not about democracy and liberty. I agree. It is not. I'm like... I guess I have a conflict, you know, because I'm like... I want you to be able to speak freely. At the same time, we're at war with countless enemies of humanity. We cannot... If speaking freely means a mutiny and the destruction of the whole ship, then you need to shut up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I want you to speak, but at the same time, we gotta fight, man. You can't be talking, you know? We're fighting! The enemy's out there! I don't know. This one's tough. This one is tough. I know it's like a really small thing. Maybe the dialogue is inconsequential, but it is a very interesting thought, you know? Let him speak freely and empathize, but also... Listen, man. There's larger fish to fry, you know? If you want to hate anybody, just hate the forces of chaos, you know what I mean? It's not like I was directly responsible for the parents' death. You know, I didn't organize the mutiny. So, anyways. This one's a pretty good neutral, I think. Just ignore the interruption. Because while I do empathize, I don't want to support any kind of criticism if I need to be authoritative. Which is kind of wild, but anyways. Rest assured you won't be abandoned. You will be taken care of. You can tell by their bright eyes that your words and the very fact of meeting the rogue trader in the flesh have left an indelible impression on them. Young ones, you won't recognize them in a year or two. They will learn to salute and speak only when permitted by their superior officer. But right now, clowning around is all they know. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Okay, well, not bad. Pretty... Oh. I was like, can I move? Okay. Off she goes. Well, that wasn't so bad. That could have gone a lot worse. There's like something stuck in my teeth. No! Okay, not bad. It would have been funnier if I just like... Shut up! I don't care! Take a candy! Go back home! Let's see who else we have on the ship to talk with. So, we met with... Ravor? Oh, we didn't finish Argenta. We already talked to Vigdis. Let's finish our talk with Argenta. Indelible, to make a mark. Did you read my mind? Or did I say out loud that I don't know what that means? Your lordship allowed me to be your scribe? You are allowed. You are allowed. I hereby dub you scribe to explain big words because I don't remember saying out loud that I don't know what that means, but I definitely don't know what indelible means. But thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy. With her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks, she is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. Tell me about the Adepta Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Argenta interrupts herself and snorts. Why is she voiced? The other guys weren't voiced. Oh, glorious day. Oh, glorious day. I've been dubbed a scribe by the rogue trader himself. Let's see. They say the Adepta Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith. I don't know what it is about the word sororitas, but, like, I know how it's pronounced in my mind, but when it comes out of my mouth, I can't say it. Sororitas. Damn it. Are the fiercest? They say the Adepta Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
So are the Sisters of Battle just like the rough equivalent of like a Space Marine, or Armada Adeptus Minnesota? So they're more like what, like priestly Space Marines? I guess Space Marines are more military than priestly, huh? Call him Sister of Battle. Thank you, Happy. Thank you. Okay. That's a lot easier. Some of the lines are voiced while others aren't. I'm unsure as to why. I did hear that the upcoming... Is it Dark Heresy or something? The upcoming game... I don't know if it's a sequel, but the upcoming game is supposed to be fully voiced instead, which is pretty cool. And they're not as strong as Space Marines. Okay. I just wasn't sure based on, like, you see the back thing? I wasn't sure if their, like, armor was super powered or something. And sororitas, a Latin word for sister. They are more commonly known as battle sisters. Thank you, Crusader. Thank you. And Space Marines are made by the gene of the Emperor's sons. Oh. So are the Sisters of Battle just like... Are they... Okay, so Space Marines, right? They got the gene of the Emperor's sons. But they're also, like... They get, like, implanted organs and, like, additional body modifications, right? But do the Sisters of Battle get any body modifications? Or are they just, like, normal humans in, like, battle gear? How modified are they is what I'm trying to say. And they're still normal humans, okay. Thank you. And in a sense, Space Marines are like the Emperor's grandchildren. Ah. I like that. Thank you. I like that. That's pretty cool. But they're just religious freaks. I see. Cronus expands. Are all sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adepta Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her. For nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness.
Okay. Crusader says, Aspen is right. Not as powerful as Space Marines. They are more along the lines of bodyguards for the Ecclesiarchy. They do have weaker forms of power armor. They are completely natural. Ah, thank you, Crusader. Thank you, thank you. Now, my follow-up question. What is the Ecclesiarchy? Was it on the thing? Wait. Oh, wait, there you go. The religious body of... Wait. Is that it? The religious body of the Imperium, also known as the Ecclesiarchy, which venerates and promotes the worship of the Emperor of Mankind. Oh, okay. Religious body of the... Okay, so the Ecclesiarchy is basically like a church for the Emperor. Kind of. Or maybe that's not quite accurate. The religious body of the Imperium. So the people of the Imperium who worship the Emperor? The sect of the Imperium? And they're still way stronger than Imperial Guardsmen, but not even close to Space Marine. Okay. Thank you, thank you. And it's their governmental body, pretty much. Okay, I see. Space Priests. Okay. I see. I think I see.
Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
This is some pretty culty behavior. Kind of cool. Little culty, but pretty cool. What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
And it is very much the government. Thank you, Crusader. Thank you, thank you. The Ecclesiarchy. I gotta remember this kind of stuff. The Order Pronatus is not one of the Order's militant, and yet you are a trained fighter.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless. Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge. And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
Right. After a short pause, Argenta adds with somewhat arrogant haste. Oh, thank you, Crusader, for the follow. Thank you, thank you! Hope to see you more often, my scribe! You are dubbed scribe. And you are now in service of the rogue trader himself. bow before your rogue trader. And Crusader says, very culty. The Imperium is very fondly known as the Imperial cult by many within its own citizens. Thank you, Crusader. And Crusader says, I think I shall hang around quite a bit. This is very fun. Thank you, thank you. Currently, Rogue Trader's on the schedule. Over the past, like, several months, I've been getting really into Warhammer stuff. So, it's probably going to be a bit of... Warhammer stuff, just randomly on the channel. But for this week, the plan for this week, just to fill you in, I stream every day, except for Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Sundays now. Forgot about that part. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on very special occasion. I always stream at the same time on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This Friday is Repo. And Saturday is probably more Rogue Trader. I think that's what's on the schedule. I haven't quite solidified that yet, but yeah. And yes, my 40k arc, all from Space Marine 2. I'm so glad to have found Space Marine and then extended that into... Okay, I was into Space Marine. I didn't really care for Dark Tide because I wanted to be a Space Marine. But after playing Dark Tide for so long, I'm not as attached to Space Marines anymore. Now I'm just kind of like... If I'm just a militant guy or a psyker, it's all good. And now I'm playing Rogue Trader, so... And Crusader says, low formal bow. I wish for many cycles in your stewardship. I am a small Warhammer 40k fan, and I hope to show you tons of it. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I am but a small fan as well. I'd say I like 40k. There's a good bit of it that I don't understand. I started Space Marine in, what, November? Thereabouts. And that was like my first 40k thing. So far we've played Space Marine 1 and 2. I played a ton of Dark Tide. We're playing Rogue Trader now. I bought Battle Sector. I didn't finish it. I have Gladius because it was free a few days ago. I'm a little less than 10 hours into Bolt Gun. I have like Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, I think it's called. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. And I think I have one more. I can't remember, but I think I have one more. Oh, I have the bolt gun piping game because that was free, but it's not that. I have one more somewhere. Yeah. Crusader says, I got a few friends into 40k because of Space Marine 2 and Dark Tide. They are great stepping stones. I absolutely agree. I'm a Gears of War fan. I love Gears of War. And after... I got into Space Marine because Gears of War is just not putting out new content. So I got into Space Marine because of Gears of War. And now I'm a Gear... No, I was going to say now I'm a Gears guy. Now I'm a Warhammer guy. Yeah. I mean, I'll still play Gears when it comes out, but honestly, I feel more attached to Warhammer than I do about Gears at this point. I like Warhammer a bit better. So, anywho. Let's see. I was gonna protect it. You said you belong to the Calixian branch of your order. What brought you to the Cronus Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Pastor Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
What? Okay. Are there any other members of the Adepta Sororitas in the Cronus Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Right. I have no more questions about the Sisterhood.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
How did you end up on Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
She stopped short.
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
Is it difficult for you to accept that you made a mistake?
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Argenta says heatedly. Then she frowns and lowers her head for a moment. Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valancia's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Argenta's eyes glint. She hesitates, but then shakes her head with a sigh. What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistic systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Argenta frowns and shakes her head. I don't have any more questions. Thank you.
As you wish.
What is it that's keeping you in my retinue?
The ship was targeted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary, but for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
The ship was tainted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you... Okay. We could just tell her, I don't see a place for you. We're gonna take you home. It pleases me to have a servant of the Golden Throne in my crew. May the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught.
So they shall.
Argenta's eyes flash. We're gonna kill him, Argenta. Really? Really? You and me? Destroying heretics? Thank you for this conversation. Until next time. Argenta, let me know if you know anyone single. Okay. Let's see. I bet there's a lot of people to talk to. I don't want to spend too much time randomly talking to randos, but I don't want to miss out on dialogue either, you know. It's a difficult balance. It is certainly a difficult balance. Alright, Abelard.
Lord Captain.
Abelard surveys you briskly but meticulously, as though he is inspecting you for shortcomings. Then he offers you a courteous nod. Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as the Rogue Trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Outline the situation in the Cronus Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Cronus Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Cronus Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Cronus Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Crusader says, take your time, my lord. There is much to learn from your new crew. My only suggestion is to trust in Abelard. He is quite a fun character. Tisn't he? Tisn't Abelard? I don't know. So far, I'm like... I'm trying to think of who I trust the most so far. No, I guess I trust Abelard the most currently. It's either Abelard or... I don't know why I'm blanking on her name, but the Sister of Battle. I trust her to an extent, though. I feel like Abelard is kind of loyal to us. The Sister of Battle is loyal to her faith. So I imagine she might not be our friend all the time. I don't know. As long as we don't engage in heresy. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I have Warhammer 40k Inquisitor. That's the other game I have. I was like, I'm pretty sure I have one more game. Yeah, it's Inquisitor. Okay. Oh, okay. I've never thought about how much money I've spent in total on Warhammer games, and I probably should discontinue that line of thought before I realize how much money it is. Sorry, my brain is kind of frying the further into the night I get. I don't know what it is, but I can't focus. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules. Okay. Who are the main players I need to be aware of in the Cronus Expanse?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness.
Appy says, don't worry, you'll know when you are painting your 40k army figurines. I didn't even factor the figurines into the amount of money I've spent on Warhammer. I was just thinking of games, but now... Okay, the figurines answer is probably easier. So I got the Space Marine 2 set. That was about 60. And then I got the I think like Infernus Squad or something for like 30 or 40. It's about $100, and then I got gifted paint, so that I didn't have to pay for, but that's roughly $100 already. That's wild. Anyways, let's see.
Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
Ooh, that's a lot of names. Our previous master whispers. What can you tell me about his betrayal? What do you think he'll do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
Abelard winces as though from toothache, and he makes no attempt to hide his feelings. I wonder what army he might choose. Space Marine. Space Marines. Only Space Marines. The whole thing is Space Marines. I don't know. I'm not really a board game guy, personally. The reason I have the figurines in the first place was because I was moving, and there was a like Games Workshop like kind of close to where I was. So since I was going, and since Space Marine like just released Space Marine 2, I was like, oh, I'll just buy this Space Marine 2 set that I found. And then at that point, it comes with like Space Marine Army. Listen here, man. Space Marine Army is cool. So I got that. It comes with like 1 Titus and like 8 Tyranids or something. 8 to 10 Tyranids. And because it comes with some really basic paints, I didn't really have like everything I needed to finish it. So then I got gifted the paints to finish it. But then at that point, it's like I have so much paint for just like literally 1 Space Marine Titus and like 10 Tyranids. So now I'm just wasting paint. So that's where the extra the Infernus Space Marines come from that I got. I gotta use the paint because there's a lot of paint. And I also enjoy painting them with my uncle, so it's a good family bonding experience. And which of the 8? And a loyalist or traitor? What? And I'm sure he might choose the blueberries before he finds some cooler chapters. Yes. I don't know. There's just something I like about the Space Marines personally, but I think if I'm going to get another set, I'm actually looking at the Dark Tide set, because it comes with the Veteran, the Ogryn, the Psyker, and the Zealot, and it comes with like a bunch of the Maniacs and Heretics. So I think that one would be fun to paint next. I tend to paint more of what I'm personally interested in for the Warhammer universe. Not so much what looks cool, but more so what I've like experienced in the games of Warhammer. Which is why I would prefer to paint more Space Marines and more Dark Tide related characters, generally. Yeah. And Crusader says, I got that one too. That is great to try out assembling and different paint schemes to see if you ever like it. Generally painting is not really my thing. Like, okay, so it's becoming more my thing as time goes on, but initially when I first got it, I was like, I just want it painted already because I don't want to paint this. To me, it's a bit of a hassle, or was a bit of a hassle. But after, my uncle likes to paint, so it was a good bonding experience with my uncle to paint these figurines. So I say I enjoy it a lot more now. I definitely see what's like really fun and satisfying about it. I will say the only thing I'm not a big fan of in the process is putting the thing together, because cutting it out of the tray, the Space Marine 2 set, they cut out of the tray really well, but the Infernus Space Marines that I got are like, they're put very poorly into the tray. So when you cut them out, you got to be really careful to not like cut the Space Marine. Putting them together, it takes a really long time to like chisel off the little excess from the tray. So for that reason, cutting it out, I'm not a big fan fun of. I'm not a big fan of cutting it out. I do enjoy painting it, but the part where you paint or cut it out and then you chisel away at it to make it not lumpy is kind of like, takes me like 30 minutes to cut one. Ugh. Anyways, dude, I cut my finger the other day. Like, I don't think I told the story on stream, but I was assembling the Space Marine thing the other day. I'm using like this I don't know what it's called, but it's like a think of like a pencil, but it has like a blade at the end. Okay, so I'm using that to cut so I use the clippers to cut it out of the tray, and then I use that like pencil thing to whittle away at the little like residue from the tray, and I screwed up and I like my hand slipped, and you know like where on the edges of your fingernails there's like a little bit of like callus. So I sliced the callus, but I'm not sure if I sliced my finger. So I think I'm either I'm gonna eventually rebuild the callus, or I lost a tiny section of my finger. But these fingers are no longer the same. So I may have lost a tiny section of finger. Anyways, Crusader says, don't worry, I think I've still only used about 20% of my paint colors. Time to get more sets. And definitely paint what you think looks cool. I'm a Tyranid player, and let me tell you, painting 120 plus of the same model is hard enough when I like them. Understandable. I don't know, I enjoy it. I think the Tyranids look cool, but I'm definitely a Space Marine guy. I'm an Ultramarine guy. Forgive my continuous ramblings, my lord. I mean not to decide your attention, and yes, cutting the sprues apart can be annoying. Yeah, don't even worry about it. On this channel, we ramble all the time, so it's okay. I enjoy the rambling, but no, cutting out the figures from the tray and assembling them, it takes too long. Like I just want to paint, you know. So far I've been pretty satisfied with the outcomes. The one thing, I did go to a shop. It's kind of out of the way. There's a shop that sells Warhammer paints. I was there, and I could have picked up a better skin tone for Titus. Currently, I've just got, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, whatever color I have is not actually meant for skin. So, Titus' face just looks kind of weird. Like, it's very much like it's a non-skin paint. So if you don't look too hard, it's fine, but if you look any harder, it's like, this doesn't seem like skin. Anyway, the next time I go back to the store, I gotta pick up one, like, more specifically skin looking. So, anyways, the greater good enjoyer. Or chatting? Or what? Anyways, Abelard winces, no admirer of fine art. Okay.
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valancius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake.
Abelard frowns for a moment, then continues. And Tau? You mean like the faction? Oh, the main race you played in Dawn of War. Ah. I'm really excited to play Dawn of War. I had to stop myself because Dawn of War was like $6 and in the most recent sale, and I really wanted to get it, but I don't know, like running the definitive edition that's coming out later this year, I'm really excited to play it, and I don't want to jump the gun and play it before the definitive edition that's coming out, so or remastered or whatever. I really want to play it. This is the bottom line. I think I'll still be a Space Marine guy, but I really do want to play it. Okay.
If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps. As you wish,
That is
Lord
all
Captain.
for now. I'd like to know more about my Seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself. What were you before you became Theodora's Seneschal?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Crusader says, Tau honestly looks super cool. I like their mechs. I've heard of the Tau faction, but I don't remember if I've probably seen them at one point, but I can't quite remember them offhand. Sorry, I do not remember the Tau. Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
The way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
He furrows his brow and adds, utterly baseless. Do you have any family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4. And
Damn.
if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11.
Damn.
My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps. Of course.
You may call me by my first name if you wish.
I thank you for the honor, but I must decline. As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
I'm telling you, my name's Taku! Well, I must take my leave until next time, Seneschal.
Lord Captain.
Abelard gives you a regulation salute. Well, my brain is fried. Therefore, I think it is about that time. Man, we spent like almost 8 hours in this game. We're gonna call this, we'll just call it Taku. That way, that'll be my main save. Well, on that note, fellas, it is about that time. Thank you all for joining me for another wonderful, wonderful stream. Welcome in to Crusader. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here's the part where I give you all my thank yous and goodbyes. Thank you to Appy, Mandy, Grizz, Asray, K. Scott, and new member, Crusader. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night tomorrow. I will see you guys on Friday for Repo. Repo is going to be determined by... I don't really know how many people are joining us on Friday for Repo, but Repo is going to be determined by 8-Ball, going in order of when you send your first message. I've decided. That's how we're deciding. So the list will be determined by who messages first. Whether or not you get in is fully determined by the 8-Ball. If the 8-Ball says you're not in, you're not in. If the 8-Ball says you're in, you're in. If we get to the bottom of the list and there's still an opening, we're going to start from the beginning of the list. That's how I'm going to make it work. Crusader says, fantastic scream. Fantastic stream, my good sir. I hope you have an amazing night. You too, my scribe. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And thank you for your compliment. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Same time. At Crusader. My schedule is on... Well, I mean, I have a Discord. 18 plus Discord. Only if you're interested. No pressure. No pressure. But just in case you're interested. My schedule's on there. And it's also on my Twitch profile as well. So feel free to check the profile for my times in your time zone. But I will see you guys at roughly the same time on Friday. And on Saturday, we will be starting at 10 o'clock my time. So, anyways, have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody. Did you guys want to... Nah, I'll just end it here. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Good night.